All right, good morning, everybody. We'll get started. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we're just asking you today to watch over this meeting and watch over all our citizens in the county as they go about their lives throughout the week. In Jesus' name.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from last week.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion, we pay the claims in the amount of $634,800.80.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, before we get into any of the reports, next Monday is Columbus Day. Our offices are closed. So we would need a motion to reschedule the regular meeting to Tuesday, the 15th.
I move that we reschedule the regular meeting from October 14th to Tuesday, October 15th due to Columbus Day.
I'll second. Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have the sheriff's monthly fee report for approval.
I got the sheriff's numbers right here too. For October 7th, 2024, total prisoners, 59, 7 released, 1 farmed out, 45 total farmed in, 98 911 calls, 4,378 jail contacts, 582 calls for service, 18 civil service papers served, 4 VIN inspections, 22 new cases open. Case load is 7, or case closed is 7. Vehicle crashes is 5. SR activities 144. Bailiff contacts 237, and there's 2 livestock out. In the end of the month report for the sheriff's office. Is a total of $96,337.90, which includes U.S. Marshal Housing and Transportation, KDAD's Housing and Transport, April through June, Step Grant Department of Transportation, Inmate Housing in Pleasanton, Inmate Housing in Parker, Inmate Housing in Coffee County. It also has civil service out-of-state fees, civil service in-state fees, report fees, fingerprint fees, concealed carry, offender fees, and VIN fees. Again, the total was $96,337.09. Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion to move the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I've got the monthly park reports.
Thank you.
The 2024 park year-to-date report. Our receipts year-to-date is $245,201.02. Our expenditures for 2024 year-to-date are $214,416.08 for a positive year-to-date total of $30,784.94. For the month of September, the receipt total was $36,089.76. Our expenditures for September was $27,064.67. I just wanted the lagoon stuff come out of this.
Sorry?
Was the lagoon stuff, did it come out of this?
No, that was all special project.
No. Amar? Yeah.
Good morning, Don Brooks with AMR. I've got the monthly report from August 1st to August 6th. There were 0 calls in Blue Mound, Centerville, Lacine, and Linn Valley this week. There was 1 call in Rich Hill, 0 transports. 3 calls in Mound City, 3 transports. 4 calls in Parker, 2 transports. 6 calls in Pleasanton, 3 transports. 3 calls in Prescott, 0 transports, for a total of 17 calls and 8 transports this week. Any questions for me? Okay.
Thank you, Don.
Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Hagwald, Linn County Emergency Preparedness and Rural Fire. I sent out this week's call data. We had 7 calls for the week, brings our yearly total up to 412. Right before I come in, I did get an update from the town that we're purchasing that tender from. They did run into some more issues with their new truck, so now they pushed it back to probably the first week of November. They say it could be a little bit sooner, but they're still battling some electrical issues with the new truck. So the other thing I have, and David has a copy of it, it's a resolution, and what this is a resolution for the Kansas Homeland Security Region J Hazard Mitigation Plan. The short answer to this is a plan that has to be adopted by each county. It also has to be adopted by our local school districts, towns, rural water districts, rural electric districts. What this plan does is allow, for example, like the 900 road culvert, if there's something else that Sean would need to do to that to mitigate it happening in the future, FEMA wants this plan signed, and that helps us get the funding in, is all it does. Is the state actually pays a company to come up with this plan for us. They just send it out and we adopt it. So it's something that's done every 5 years.
Where's the plan at?
I have a copy of the plan if you need to see it. It's just basically they go through it. This company goes through the whole county, looks at our hazards, like flooding, earthquakes, anything like that. And then they put it down and they send that to FEMA. FEMA approves it based on like prior. Our biggest thing was flooding.
Is this open to the public, or should it be accessible?
No, I can send it to David. He can put it up on the website or whatever. It's open to the public.
Okay.
When you pass that, if you guys don't mind, if you'd sign 2 of them, then I can keep an original, Randy.
All right. Yeah, if we could just get it
Okay.
out in the public's eyes, that'd be great. I'll make a motion that we approve Linn County Resolution number 2024-27, which is adopting the Kansas Homeland Security Region J Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That is all I have unless you guys have questions.
I don't. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
David, you got any more? You got anything else?
Not right now.
All right, Sean.
Let's see, Amanda.
Oh, Amanda's here. I didn't see you. Sorry, Amanda. If you want to go ahead and go.
Good morning, Amanda Snyder, Linn County Health Department. Our numbers for September look a little different than other months because we were able to provide hearing and vision screenings for all of Jayhawk Linn students. So our numbers for September include those screenings, our WIC appointments, immunizations, and lab draws for a total of 1,175 services provided. We were also able to provide community education covering accidental and prescription drug overdose via a guest speaker that was brought into our county schools. This education is counted towards our MCH grant. So the more data we can provide, the more education we can provide. As those numbers increase, typically it works out that we receive more funding for that grant when we apply for the next year. We received our flu inventory late last week, so you can receive your flu shot by making an appointment with our office. If you would like to speed up the paperwork process, our vaccine consent form that you would typically fill out on paper is now available on the Linn County website at linncountyks.com. If you navigate to the health department page, you will see a vaccine consent form there. This is for any of the vaccines that we provide, not just the flu vaccine. So if somebody needed to come in and get an MMR or a Tdap, they could fill this form out, sign it. It's sent to us electronically, and we would have that when they arrive. They also have the option of uploading their insurance card to that page. So if it is a service that we can bill insurance for, we already have all the information that we need. We're working on scheduling a flu clinic for Linn County employees on October 31st over in the Judicial Building. We'll send out an email this week with more details. We have 6 other remote flu clinics scheduled this month, including schools, FabCon, and some of our senior sites. The COVID vaccine is still on back order. It's still not something that we're able to purchase right now. Next week, the breastfeeding staff will be attending the Kansas Breastfeeding Conference in Wichita. We'll also be setting up the breastfeeding and changing station for the arts and crafts this weekend down at in the 4-H building. November 1st, we'll have our first satellite WIC clinic in Blue Mound. If this goes well, we'll continue to do 1 a month remotely in Blue Mound. And if we see that that's successful, we might expand to some of our other communities that are further out from our home base in Pleasanton. Staff evaluations were submitted to the clerk's office last week, and I just need to know when you would like to complete mine.
Have we got a lot of those in, David, already?
I've not really looked too much yet. Rose would have them, but I don't think we've got very many in yet.
Let us gather those, work on them, and we'll let you know.
Okay. Anything else for me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, Sean, you ready now?
Sean West, Public Works Administrator. Grader training was completed last week. The joint training with Bourbon County went very well. I think I sent you some photos of their training in the field. The feedback was positive from all the operators and supervisors that attended. 900 Road, you also got some photos. We were able to get the tree out of the way and ground down, but we have run into an issue with the banding on the second tube. Todd's been working with the company contact that we got the tubes from. The second banding would not line up. So after working with them and getting instructions on how to line the, or realign the banding and to get it to fill, we confirmed with the engineer on contacts instructions and whether or not the fill and the banding would hold its integrity. with that plan, and he's finishing that work out today. So the banding on the second tube will go in. After the banding on the second tube is secured, then the blocking will go in place. Once the blocking is in place and we're ready to do the flowable fill, we'll have the engineer inspect it to make sure it is what he had designed and permitted, and then we'll do the flowable fill, backfill, bring the roadway up, and finish the rest of the project. Trees
I got a few questions for you. So on the grading training, what's our next step on it? Are we
on
the grader training?
On the grader training, this is the only training available on or provided by LTAP, which was who we went through. Now that we've got the training out of the way, then I'll track the graders and the ditching reports and report back to you on progress on it.
Okay. Sorry, I just don't.
No,
Already.
fine. The tree on Ungenhauer and Courthouse lawn stumps should be out this week. We're working now on permitting our renewals for waste oil for all of the sites around the county, which will be a process. It's just labor intensive for the office. We had a Teams meeting for Safe Streets on the 3rd. Updates as the meetings move forward towards public meetings, and at some point, meeting with you as a commission when they have that packaged up and have their plan ready for it. We're currently in the process of reviewing and doing all of our evaluations, which is a very large project with all of the different shops. I have some numbers and some photographs. Last week, you had some concerns from Brenda Connor. I looked up, we've taken 42 requests for service from her. 4 of those are still open. The bridge that she spoke about, that she and I spoke about, needs the exact same thing that the 1077 project needed. It has to be dug out. It has to be repacked. And the optimal is to put hot mix and roll over it. I'll discuss after we get done with the 900 road project with Todd whether or not we can do the same thing and cold mix it. But at this point, that project doesn't take a precedence over what we're working on currently.
On 900 Road, do you have an end date on that you're going to finish, that project's going to be finished?
We anticipate the banding being done today and then the blocking, and then we'll get the engineer to check to make sure that we are complying with the permit. The flowable fill goes in, and then that'll have to cure and set. So we'll go on to other projects while the flowable fill sets. Once it's ready to be covered, we'll go back through, we'll raise the roadway and finish that project out. So there'll be a lapse in the middle of it, but total project time, I would anticipate within the next 2.5 to 3 weeks, depending on how long and how much curing process and how deep that concrete is that the engineer tells us we need to wait.
Excuse me. Then we can start on the bridge that Brenda talked about then after that's done, or?
I'll discuss that with Todd and see where we're at with the ability to move over to that bridge. I just want to get some more information. He's doing a lot of work with the engineer and the tube company right now. So I haven't had a lot of time to discuss that project with him, other than it's going to have to be done like 1077. But yes, we will revisit it as soon as we're done with the 900 road project. Some of the other concerns were tree clearing and mowing. I checked those areas. put in service request for those. The tree clearing on Devlin, the original ticket went south from Centerville or Goodrich and not north, so I went north and checked that and put in a ticket for it. And then the mowing, I also have a resolution for you on the bus stop.
I've got a copy here, Sean, they can sign.
Okay, if you've got a copy of it. I have some concerns on this resolution, and as I went out and looked at this curve, it is on a curve on 1077, if you're familiar with it, just north of 1600. There are some photos in your packet of that curve from me standing. There is a severe line of sight issue, as well as a signage issue. I think if you look at your packet, number one is, the photo is me standing at the driveway where the bus would stop. And as you can see, there's a line of trees that would prevent a driver coming from the south being able to see not only a sign, but being able to see the bus itself with the strobe. Number two is from the other direction. You'll see it's a solid group of cedars that is blocking the availability to see that driveway on that curve.
Like those we could take out. I mean, we could trim up and even talk to the landowner and take them out, couldn't we?
Well, that's where I'm at. If you look at, should be number 4, that's the only path between there that would give you any line of sight for the bus. So while I was at that location, I spoke to the landowner. She met me at the fence and we spoke about the signage and the trees. And she was going to speak to her husband about the trees because they are on the property owner's side of the fence. And I will make contact with her again this week and find out what their decision was on the removal of those trees. But there was some dust issues from 1600 and the cedars help block the dust coming from that roadway. If we can't get them all out, what I'm going to ask the owner to do is at least make a clearing in it so that you can see whether the bus is stopped there or not. The signage is going to be just over 490 feet, both directions by the MUDCO standard, both directions from the stop itself. At 490 feet, 81 feet per second at highway speed, that's not a lot of time without being able to see through there. So I'm working with the property owner and I'll report back to you what progress we make with that later. But the resolution is ready to be signed and we can go ahead with it.
You guys got any questions, concerns, comments?
I don't have. We'll go ahead and sign a resolution and see about getting the trees cleared.
Resolution 2024-28. It's a declaration of recommended traffic signs. Install bus stop signs north and south of the residence located at 1515 One County Road 1077. I'll make a motion that we approve.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and second. Any more discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Last week, I also worked on a burn permit from the state. You may be aware that in the industrial park in Lacine, on Linco Drive, on the east end, there is a turnaround or a circle on the east end of that drive where we have permitted a state licensed burn area for brush and debris for county purposes. The problem with that permit was it was a yearly renewal permit. I worked with the state and got a permanent permit signed for that area so that we don't have to renew it each year. One of the reasons we need a permitted site is like the FEMA reports that we're going through currently, where we have to report where we haul that brush off to, and it has to be to a permitted site in order to get FEMA money to recoup for any debris or brush removal. It has to be taken to an approved location. So this allows that site to be permanent and not have to be renewed in the future. Although you'll notice that, and I didn't put the mapping in, that Circle Drive, we've got those two lots available and vacant. Should there be any business in the future, we can end that permit at any time with the state and change that location.
Okay.
Next thing I had on my list was a update, if there was one, from Commissioner Johnson on QuickCom.
I reached out to Burton. He said he would check into it. Did he get a hold of you? Anything from?
I have not heard from him yet.
He told me he'd reach out to you when he had time and get the information on, get everything, have you send it to him. So
Then I will.
I haven't heard anything from him, but he did say he would do it.
Then I will reach out to him as well. Next thing I had was an add-on that came on Friday as I was gone, and it is burial permit 202409. This is for People's Telecom. It's a fiber optic installation. It is for a service 21368 Ernest Road, and a bore across that roadway. Jesse's already looked at it and signed off on it, and so have I.
I'll need to abstain from voting
Oh,
on this as well, due to my conflict of interest with People's Telecom.
So with this being a new burial permit, is it being put into that system that Darren uses?
Until we have that new burial permit form approved, we have not started using that new system yet. And my recommendation would be to get the new permit signed and start with that new system at the break at the first of the year, so that you have everything at a solid date, so that when we look up archived records, we know everything before is on one system and everything after is on another system. And I think that's a doable timeline to get that form not only completed, but reviewed by legal, and then start that system. And it will give us a better date to be able to look back 5-6 years from now and make sure that we know exactly where we started and where to look for hard files, or where to look in the computer.
You good with it?
I'm good with it. I make a motion, we approve burial permit 2024-09 for People's Telecommunication.
I'll second. Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And Jason's withstanding.
Another add-on that came in Friday, after I sent your packets out, is a notice from ham companies. This is a upcoming price adjustment effective January 1, 2025. You'll notice that the notice itself, or the letter, advises us that there'll be a 10% minimum price adjustment will be applied to future quotes.
Is that starting at the beginning of the year or at,
Effective January 1.
okay.
When speaking with them and their representatives, I was told that part of the purpose of doing this January 1 would be their intent not to do any other price increases, not increments through the year, that it would be a one-time for the year.
I think they'd probably just tell us to shut us up. I'd like to send them a letter to say we want to decrease our gravel usage by 30% by January 1, but we're not there, are we? It's crazy to me that we don't negotiate a price with these people. We use a lot of gravel from there, right?
We use a lot of gravel from all the quarries.
And we've never tried to negotiate a per ton price.
I believe we tried several times to meet with them, and
I think there's been a lot of funny comments made about it, but no one's ever been very serious about it. That's where I'm at. What do you guys think?
How are we going to go about it?
Oh, I don't. You know,
I mean, we asked them one time.
no, I sat here and made funny comments and asked them at one time. No one's ever been very serious about it at all.
Okay.
If you're running a business, wouldn't you try to do everything that you could possibly do to get the price down? I mean, if you're one of their biggest clients, well, I feel like that we've never done that here. I think it's,
So, but I mean, they also have us, I mean, we're not going to haul from another quarry, are we?
I don't know.
What's our stance, Danny? I guess is what I'm saying. How can we, what leverage do we have that we can employ to get them to come to our side?
I don't know.
We're going to just get all of our rock from Whitaker if they don't.
I mean, if we can negotiate a price with them and it's justifiable, maybe, I don't know, but we've never tried. We just 10% more. Here you go. Take it. That's,
Okay.
I mean, isn't it our job to try to do these type of things? I mean, what's it gonna hurt to ask? Try.
I'm not opposed to trying.
I'm not opposed to trying.
I mean, I think we should do the same with Whitaker, and if we can get one to give us a better deal than the other, and we can justify driving over there, and we tell the other one, well, no, we're just going to drive to the other quarry that's further away, and I don't know. I mean,
Trucking will eat it up pretty fast.
no, I understand that. But, I
That
mean,
will.
you still got to stand on your feet and try to fight for what you want, though, right? I mean, we got to be in this quarry. We got to be we got to be their top client, right? I mean, I would say. And we paid the same exact as me if I went in there and got a ton of gravel. I don't think that's okay. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't try.
I'm in favor of trying. I just think we need to have everything ready so we can back up what we say.
What do they typically do on their price adjustment every year? They just kind of do it in increments throughout the year, you said?
That's what they're trying, as the salesman told me, they're trying to get away from is incremental prices throughout the year and to do it at one time.
Says they have a sales representative that can assist us. I think that'd be a start.
I'm not against talking to them, but I don't know what we got as far as we can bring them in and talk to them, but I don't know what we got for leverage to,
To be able to work them
to
down.
negotiate with them.
Right.
I don't mind if you want to bring them in and talk to them.
Well, I don't know. I think we've already brought him in and talked to him. I think we just let, I don't know, one of us or Sean or somebody try to. I mean, I don't think we're asking for a lot. Make us feel like that we, I mean, you go buy a new car, you don't just sit there and try to negotiate the price, right?
As you said, we've brought them in before and spoke to them. Would it be better or more appealing if either I reached out to them in writing or met with them in person to have that discussion? Obviously, to report back to you, I always prefer things in writing, but I'm more than willing to meet with them in person.
Yeah, I think I don't really want to bring him in here and talk to him.
Good.
And I will reach out to them. Okay, 2024 costs by task were sent to you. I believe you also got the report that you were asking for on the task list, similar to the ditching and the culvert. You should have got a separate type of a report that showed you throughout the year what hours and what cost we did on each task.
I don't remember seeing that one.
I obviously don't have a computer in front of me, so I can't look at the packet that was sent to you, but if it was not sent to you, I'll add it and have it.
I don't remember seeing it.
Is that activity costs by task?
Got that.
No, that one in there.
That's the one I see. But
Okay, I missed it.
Okay, if it was not added in, we had one prepared and I'll send it back out to you. And then you can review it and tell me whether or not that was what you were looking for. Service request for since 1/1 of 24 to current, 451, 37 still open, 414 closed. Service request received this last week. 5 received, 5 still open as of today. I've attached a summary. Her notes was she had attached a summary if I needed it for those requests. Activity cost by location, from 4/27/24 to current, 960 locations out of 1275 gravel roads, 76 complete. As we said, the rest of those are minimum maintenance or other vacated roadways. South Shop, last week we spoke about the grader that had the smoke issue and went into limp mode. The new turbo appears to have fixed that problem. And they were putting wedges in the gear, the main gear assembly, and putting it back out on the roadway. They also got 218 back up, continued mowing, assisted with the 900 road project, and did grader training. North Shop, beginning of the week, they helped unload culverts, 900 and Waddles project, helped take down some trees and haul them off. Hauled the big excavator back to the shop to troubleshoot what was going on with the hydraulic pump. After the mechanic looked things over and ran it for a little while, it started working properly. We're going to take a sample of the hydraulic oil and see if the impurities or any impurities are present. Going to change the hydraulic filters, plus look to see what is in the filters. If all checks go well, the manufacturer is good with our findings, we'll put it back to work. Mowing daily in the North Shop. Road grading was slow due to the training that took place and guys that were sick this week. The culvert inspection project is moving forward in all the shops. And we have several culverts that were not on the location map. We're getting GPS coordinates so that they can be added to the map as they're going through. We have found some smaller culverts that weren't on our mapping system or that were put in without being reporting. They also did training. In talking to Jesse, the Evergy project's moving forward into phase 2, and that is going well. He's keeping track of that project, but the progress through phase 2 is moving. Obviously, we took the worst phase first. Phase 2, we anticipate moving faster, and the phase 2 being completed faster than phase 1, but the project is moving well, and I'll continue to report on it. Pleasanton Shop was the 900 road project and the grader training during this week. Transfer station, Al and I spent time working through a teleconference with the engineer on the landfill project this week and getting them all of the things they needed and connecting them with Terracon so that they could finish out their engineering. A lot of what they were looking at were safety issues, like the height of the doorway so that the roll-offs on the open tops wouldn't strike the doorway, the turnaround radius, and a place to park our equipment. They also were needing direction on sizing of our waste oil tanks and the containment systems for planning when it got moved. Main water supply locations and GPSs on it, and then discussed re-engineering because of this tipping floor and the way it's designed, the re-engineering of the lagoon process in order to make it sizable enough to manage the water flow that will come into it. After they finish that, then there'll be a report to yourselves after they finish all of that work. Mainly what they were wanting to do is get a lot of input this week from Al or myself. Al mainly for the functional part of it, and myself for the GPS and the waste oil containment and where those things could be moved. Again, we hooked them up with terracons so that we're not moving them into an area that will obstruct other permits. Lagoon project, they've moved from one cell to another. That project's going well. I've had a limited amount of time to go out and look at it, but that process is supposed to be, we're well above the November timeline in completing that. We're working with Kira, and they are helping us work with the state to manage. The only reporting that will be done after this process is the reporting on the dredging itself, what material was dredged, the testing, where it was applied, how it was land applied. But the lagoon project and rebuild itself doesn't change the dynamics of the lagoon. And from the work that I've seen, Jesse's done an excellent job on rebuilding those walls, reshaping and rip-wrapping that area. 5 out of 7 of the TVs should have been programmed by this point. Campsite measuring that you asked about last week. Sherry was out sick for a good part of the week, so I was only able to discuss that by phone with her. She's put 2 employees, a full-time and a part-time employee, on the project with 113 sites to measure. So I didn't get a timeline as to how fast that project's moving along, as she was sick this week, but they are putting as much manpower and resources towards the task as possible. We had nothing on noxious weeds. Pleasanton compactor, in checking with that, that is, of the 2 buildings, that's our building. And I'm having Mike check into the smart siding to repair it and getting pricing. Also, a side note to that, I have received a couple of the emails back from the cities. I haven't received information back from all of them, but I have received a few back from the cities for an up-and-coming meeting with them. Next thing I had was any update, if there was one, on materials or design on the gazebo issue that we faced.
I sent an email over to a supplier they got from Centric Projects that used the fiberglass columns I was telling you about, and I haven't heard back, but hopefully I heard something. That was on the end of the week, so hopefully I heard something on that.
Each shop and myself, we ordered the new Mudco. The current edition is the 2011. We were working off the old Mudco standard, and I made sure that we got that out to each one of the shops, because currently each one of the shops are individually having to do sign work or sign repair at this time, and needed copies of that in order to do that properly. The next thing I had was executive session. I needed 5 minutes for non-elected personnel in reference to applicants, and 5 minutes non-elected personnel. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 minutes non-elected personnel, for a total of 15.
You guys got anything for Sean?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'll make a motion that we go in executive session for 5 minutes for non-elected personnel for applicants, and then 10 minutes for non-elected personnel, period. For a total of 15 minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll be back at 10:05, it looks like.
You know what? They didn't turn this off. Not her. They. They didn't turn this off.
We had no action from executive session, but we do want to have a additional 10 minutes to a personnel for the 3 commissioners,
Non-elected.
for non-elected personnel. 10 minutes.
I'll second that.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll be back at 10:18.
What's that?
I didn't pay attention to the time yet.
We had no action from executive session. So our next item on the list looks like we have nothing. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. We got public comment. Is there any public comment? At this time, we'll open up for public comment if anybody has anything to say. Alan, I thought you were going to have to say something. No? Okay. No public comment.
I've got a couple more things if you're ready for
Yeah.
something else. John stopped in before you got back out here. I think he was going to go ahead and start making some calls that he was talking about, but he wanted me to let you know that all of the equine signs for 911 purposes are in at the county park. And that he wanted to thank Pam Cannon, GIS department, Sherry Loveland, and any others that helped with the project. And other than that, I do have the voting delegate forms for the K-Camp annual meeting. If you wanted to take any action on that yet, it's not pressing to get it done right now. We should be receiving K-Work forms also sometime before long. But the annual meeting is at the KAC conference. It'll be Tuesday, December 3rd at 5:30. And they need to have a voting delegate and an alternate for the county. So if
I'm
you
planning on attending the KAC meeting.
I am too.
what they sent on it was last year, we had Jason as the voting member and I was the alternate. And if we don't turn a form in, they just leave it that way. But if you guys want to do something else, or I'd just as soon turn the form in, even if you were leaving it that way, just to get it in the record. But
Do you want to do it this year, Jim?
I don't care. I can.
That's fine. Fine with me.
so
If you're,
down as voting.
I'll be the alternate. That work for you guys?
That's good with me.
I'll make a motion that we designate Jim as our voting delegate and Jason as our secondary for K-Camp's annual meeting.
And I'll second that. Motion been moved, second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Once I finish filling that form out, Danny, there's a spot for you to sign off as the chair on that. So I'll get that before we get out of here today.
Okay. Where was that in December 3rd? Where was it?
It's in Wichita at the convention center. That's
The Hyatt Regency. On the,
Is that something that that I need to attend? Should I attend it, or since I'm going to be on my way out, or no?
I mean, that'd be up to you. Nothing says you can't if you want to, but I do know hotels were filling up very fast out there. I got one for Jim quite a while back, and it's like what, a mile away or something.
That's a ways away.
It was nothing real close because everything in walking distance is pretty well full.
Okay.
Are you allowing the new elected to come in to go to it, or?
I didn't go until I was elected. I mean, as far as you, the next year you'll go, that's the way it was. I don't think they allow you till.
Go in blind?
You'll have a new
Orientation.
commissioner meeting, yeah. Mine was in Jack, or
You'll get to
Junction
go to
City.
speak on a new commissioner. Who does.
It's really
But
fun.
still, I mean, that was a online deal when I did it because of COVID.
I got to go.
Zoom.
I was there
I
in
gotta go
person.
to, I think I went to Junction City. Talks about
Down toward the bottom where it says commission chair.
You want need him to sign that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you. I don't know if Josh was here about anything with the city today or, okay. Like,
Trade secrets.
What do you need, 5, 10? Yeah. Okay. Good, David, do you have anything else?
No, I don't. And then, well, we got later is your, interviews.
So do you guys want to go into executive session with Josh for 5 minutes for trade secrets and then recess straight out? Or do we need to come back out here and recess? Just do that when we get out?
So, yeah,
I don't know who all you got coming or if they're
Good
here
start.
yet or.
with the one interview.
I guess, yeah.
Go in and come back and see where, if anybody's here and recess after we're back.
Right.
Go in for
If
5
we have
minutes.
Okay. So just go in executive session, 5-minute trade secrets with Josh Baldwin for the city of Mound City.
I'll second it.
Motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do you guys need me in there on that one or?
I don't think so, do we? No. 10:31.
It's freaking out on me here.
We had no action from executive session with Josh Baldwin, but now we will be going back into executive session for for interviews for the economic development position. And I make a motion, we go in for 15 minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Back at 10:50.
15 minutes.
15. a motion that we extend the executive session for interviews for 5 more minutes, coming back at 10:55.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. That's what we were talking about earlier. That's what he's getting paid.
You guys just want to, there, we had no action after that interview. It was just an interview. So that executive session was just an interview. So do you guys want to recess for until 11:30?
Is that, when are they supposed to be here? Do you know?
Didn't Sean say they were supposed to be coming between 11 and 11:30 getting here? So I don't know exactly what time, but
We have them slated on the agenda from 11:15
yeah.
to 11:45. But unless you guys want to just go to recess for 15 minutes and then come back
We can
and
do
see.
that, recess another 15 if we need to. This is,
Yeah,
Before
that
we
way
do
we
that-
can get started as soon as we can.
yeah.
Before that, she had,
So I did your civic ready with a QR code.
oh, okay.
So I can, I'll do it either on white paper, just want you to see it before I put it out. Huh?
There's one of your interviews now.
Hello.
So, if that looks okay, then
You just put that at each,
I can, Barb approached us while she left, and she could do it a little bit smaller. She was showing us the size of the ad on the website for $60 a month, which is a lot cheaper than I can put it out on paper, which I don't mind putting it out at the places. And she said the ads on the website, she said she could do like our job interviews and stuff, or our job postings. But she said that in 7 days they had like 1,400 clicks. So I don't know, for $60 for the month, if they got 1,400 clicks, we get 14 people that walk through the courthouse.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to pay $60 and try it for 30 days and see how many people click on it. It's up to you.
What about running it in the newspaper as a QR code like that? Can you do that?
Well, yeah, but that's
Oh,
$60 a week.
oh.
This is on the newspaper, on the
On their
internet,
website.
on their website.
It's much
but
cheaper.
like the treasurer's office, they would have more than 14 a day.
Well, and-
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, and they're getting to a point where they're going to get a bunch in November because everybody's going to be coming in. For
Yeah,
that.
Right.
saying it would be a good time to have it.
oh, I'll put it there also.
Are you going to be able
Absolutely.
to turn this so that you can maximize the sheet of paper and?
Oh, yeah, I'll put 3 or 4 on a page. Absolutely. I just didn't know if you wanted to utilize the website for Linn County News as well for $60 a month, or if you just wanted to put them at the offices and the.
What if we start by trying to have this up and ready to go by, when they're coming in to pay taxes?
Oh, I can have it up. and
We
ready
could
to
try
go.
a month in the paper if you wanted to and see
Well, but I mean,
how many.
what if we do that first?
Yeah.
And see how many we get signed up, be able to track how many we have? If we do the flyers there first, and then
You
if,
just need to make sure that everybody knows that it's there available to them, you know.
Right.
Pass it
Well-
out as much as we can.
Make it catchy where someone just has to
I've
go.
got some neon paper. I bought some neon paper, so we'll put it in and I've got the stand-up things. I'll put them one in each office, and then we can put them over here as
About
well.
like even the courtrooms.
I'm just thinking-
Is there- Can we do something that the,
I don't know what they'll. I mean,
So-
if they'd allow anything over there
well,
in
I'm saying
them.
at the bailiff desks where everybody
Yeah,
goes
like-
through.
the reason I'm thinking we don't do both of them at the same time
So
is
try-
this will allow us to see
What we got.
what we've got and where it's coming from, and then we can pivot from there. If we,
If we get it out as many places as we can in the county, every office that we can, it'd be. Then we can see how many
are coming in,
coming in.
right?
So, I mean, this is just something you should be able to put up on a bulletin board and somebody walk up and see it and then go on and go on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think that sounds good, Darcy.
Okay, I'll get it done.
All right, well,
Can you tell us your name, please?
I'm Christy Thomas.
Okay, Christy.
Okay, are you, you're here for the interview, correct?
Correct.
I am.
Do you,
Sure. They said 11 to.
yeah, we got a little early, we got done a little early today with our, everyday stuff, so if you want to, if you're good with going in right now, we could probably go in if you guys want.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for an interview for economic development for 15 minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Come back at what? Yep. Yeah, go ahead and make a motion. I didn't hear what he said.
I'll make a motion that we recess for 10 minutes till,
There was no executive.
yeah, there was no action.
Action.
So, right.
Yeah.
And, that we recess until 10:30 or 11:30.
I'll
Sorry.
second.
I'm an hour ahead.
Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
One.
Yeah, should be about a minute left.
All right, our other interviewees here. It looks like we'll go ahead and go into executive session for interviews with her until, well, about 15 minutes until 11:45. That's my motion.
Second it.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jesse's still not here?
Have not seen him yet.
He's busy. You guys want to?
So do we want to go back in and just talk about our interviews we've had so far?
You want to do that? Go.
That's fine.
We need 5 or 10.
Something like that.
We can do, let's just do 10 and then get done early, come back out, but see if Jesse's here, and if not, then we'll make a decision.
Okay.
So,
I'll make a motion. We go in for 10 minutes for non-elected personnel to talk about our candidates so far on the.
I'll second. Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. do it in 10 minutes?
Yep.
All right, now we will be calling executive session for one more interview today. For, what is it, 10 minutes?
For the operations director.
For the operations director of the road and bridge. We will be back at
Yeah, about 10 after, or 5
about
after.
5 after.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I make a motion to extend our executive session for interview for 10 more minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. No action from executive session. Do we have anything else on the agenda? I don't think there's anything else on the agenda.
Nope.
All
I
right.
don't have anything else.
I don't, you know,
I don't either. So next week we're on Tuesday, right?
next
Right.
Tuesday.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then I'll make a motion we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion written second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Who'd you get for the second? I couldn't quite tell which one was.
Well, I don't know, you guys jumped in there about the same time. so.